Okay. What's going on, people? It's your boy Brandon Bravon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You know I'm coming here to holler at y'all today, so you know what time it is. Turn it off, turn it all the way off. All right, allow me to reintroduce myself again. My name is Brandon Bravon Towns. This is Sports Plus Life, and definitely if this is your first time listening to the Sports Plus Life show, definitely hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. No doubt, be happy to have you tune in every week. Now, my schedule varies a little bit. It's a little different than when we started, so I get in where I can fit in. You feel me? But, you know, it is in the Richmond, VA, of course, the dirty Richmond, VA, and it is Tuesday, March 26, 2019. And I'm coming to get at you guys today, and we got some things to talk about. I got to talk about this NCAA tournament, see what's going on in this NCAA tournament. Also, some news on the NFL front. And also today, I'm going to actually talk some movies because, look, I'm behind the times when it come on my movie game. There's some things that just came out that I want to see, some things that's been out that I want to see, and there's some things coming out that I definitely want to see. Okay, so, but definitely want to talk about, get into some movie stuff. So, I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I was in a package delivery truck. I was in an Amazon truck the whole weekend, so I listened to a lot of the games this weekend on ESPN radio, but that didn't stop nothing. I caught the games that I needed to see, and I'll be good this weekend as far as catching the games, as far as catching the Elite Eight games. So, without further ado, let's get to it. All right. So again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the with the NCAA tournament. We are now down to the Sweet 16 already in this 3-week tournament, and remember last week I was just saying, all right, UVA. Remember what happened last year, and you owe everybody in the state of Virginia, particularly in Charlottesville. And let me tell you something. UVA's first game was last Friday, again as a number 1 seed, against number 16 Gardner-Webb. And when I tell you, I was in that truck angry because UVA was getting the crap kicked out of them again. They were down 14 points to Gardner-Webb. Who and what the hell is a Gardner or his Webb? And I was just getting mad because I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all gonna have, I was just thinking, if y'all lose this game, nobody will take y'all serious ever again in college basketball. I don't care if you went undefeated during the regular season. No one will take you serious again. They were down 6 at halftime, came out in the second half, and dominated. They dominated. They held Gardner-Webb to just 20 points in the second half, winning by 15 points, which still, to me, wasn't anything to put any fear in anybody's heart. The team that they faced next, Oklahoma, they had put up 92 points against Ole Miss, or 95 points against Ole Miss. So I'm like, they might be licking their chops at the opportunity to get at UVA. But when they played Oklahoma last night, when they played Oklahoma Sunday night, UVA looked like a number 1 seed. They dominated pretty much from start to finish against Oklahoma. So the Virginia Cavaliers have moved on to the Sweet 16. As for the other teams, the best game, I believe, of the tournament thus far was between LSU and Maryland, because that was a buzzer-beating shot, and Duke and UCF. Now, University of Central Florida, they beat VCU in their first round matchup. They featured a 7'6" guy from the Senegal Taco Falls, and his real name is Taco. Tacko, 7'6". A couple of replays when they had the backboard camera. Dude was just so tall, but the dude was looking like blackface. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be funny, but Duke won. Duke beat UCF by 1 point. It was a great game. Of course, the storyline leading into that game is would Zion Williamson dunk on, would he dunk on the 7'6" center? And UCF came to play. They had the game won. All jokes aside, they had the game won. Under 2 minutes ago, they were up 4. Duke had missed a shot. They were on a fast break. The guard throws an alley-oop to, I believe his name, Dawkins. He was a guard or a small forward. And he simply takes his eye off the ball, lets the ball go right through his hands, just worrying about how he was going to dunk it. Totally lost control of the ball. Then they were up by 3. 76-73. Zion Williamson comes and scores over the guy Taco. Didn't dunk it, but he got an and one, which fouled him out, which was big because Duke could not hit their free throws down the stretch. Zion Williamson missed the free throw to tie the game, and Barrett gets away with a push off in the back, gets the rebound, goes back up for the layup to put Duke up 1. Coming back down, the UCF guard, I want to say it was BJ Turner or something like that. And he took a shot off the glass, and the guy Dawkins swooped in for the tip, and it went around the rim. I was like, no, because I hate Duke. Fuck Duke. Fuck them. But so Duke escaped. All 4 number 1 seeds advanced. All 4 number 1 seeds advanced. All 4 number 2 seeds advanced. And all 4 number 3 seeds advanced. You do not see that normally in the NCAA tournament. This has not been that tournament where you have your Cinderella team. There is no Loyola of Chicago, Illinois, or nothing like that. There's no first 4 to Final 4 VCU team going. There's no, none of that. You know, the glass slippers broke early. You had a couple of teams in the first round that got their first ever win. Like Wofford got their first win. University of Liberty, they got their first win. Also a shout out to the state of Virginia. Not just the Cavaliers or anything like that, but the state of Virginia sent the most teams from any state in the NCAA tournament. They sent 5 teams. University of Virginia, Virginia Tech, VCU, Old Dominion, Liberty University. And we only got 2 left, but keep in mind, 2 of them had to play each other. VCU, like I said, they lost to UCF. Virginia won their 2 games. Virginia Tech looked great in their first round game. Liberty pulled the upset in their first round game, and they had to play Virginia Tech on Sunday to see who would go to the Sweet 16. Virginia Tech won. Virginia Tech looks like a different team now that Justin Robinson is back. So here are the matchups. Like I said, this has not been that Cinderella tournament. Mostly chalk has walked during this stretch. And I'll say it again. All 4 number 1 seeds are in the Sweet 16. All 4 number 2 seeds are in. All 4 number 3 seeds are in. All right. So this is just what it is. This is just what it is this year. So in the East region, you have Duke, number 1 seed Duke, playing number 4 seed Virginia Tech. That's going to be very interesting because this is an ACC matchup. There's familiarity, and Virginia Tech did beat Duke a couple of weeks ago, I say in around the end of February, when Zion Williamson was injured, but also Justin Robinson was injured as well for Virginia Tech. So it's on a neutral site, and we'll see, because I got to tell you, Virginia Tech should give Duke all they can handle. If they take it down there late, Duke has a problem making free throws. Biatch. You know, and like I said, the familiarity will play a great part. So I'm not ruling out an upset. I'm not ruling out Virginia Tech upsetting Duke. I'm not. And then also in the East region, you have number 3 seeded LSU Tigers from the SEC, going against the number 2 seed in the Michigan State Spartans. Okay. And then you have from the West region, number 1 seeded Gonzaga. They've looked impressive. Going against the number 4 seeded Florida State Seminoles, another ACC school. That's another game that I honestly think may be a pick'em game. Everybody was high on Murray State. Murray State was a 12 seed who pulled an upset, and they have a lottery pick. I forget the dude's name, but he's a guard, and he is the truth. He's like the second coming of Russell Westbrook. But Florida State smoked that ass in the second round game. So then you have number 3 seeded Texas Tech going up against the number 2 seeded Michigan Wolverines. That's, these games, like I said, when chalk walks, we should have some great games this weekend. Then you have Virginia versus the lowest seed in the tournament. Number 1 Virginia will play the number 12 seeded Oregon Ducks. Now, I guess if you want to call Oregon a Cinderella, only because of their seed, because they're a well-known school. They're in the Pac-12. They were in the Final Four 2 years ago. They're a national powerhouse, basketball and football. They just had a crappy regular season. Let's call it what it is. So, number 1 Virginia plays number 12 Oregon. Then number 3 Purdue plays number 2 Tennessee. Tennessee blew a 25-point lead on Sunday against Iowa and had to win that game in overtime. Then number 1 North Carolina plays the number 5 Auburn Tigers. Auburn has looked impressive. Excuse me. They had a shaky first game and then just destroyed Kansas in their second round matchup. And they have North Carolina. And remember now, at one point this season, Auburn was a top 10 school. And then you have the number 3 seeded Houston Cougars going up against the number 2 seeded Kentucky Wildcats. This should be fun. I'm just going to say this weekend should be amazing because you have some great matchups. You have the potential for great matchups. We all love the Cinderellas. We do. But, this year, not so much. Not so much. So, oh, man. So, I don't know what anybody's predictions will be as far as how this will pan out. If I am the University of Virginia, I'm not overlooking. Well, of course, if anybody's learned a lesson to not overlook anybody, it's UVA. So I know they're not going to overlook Oregon just because they're a 12 seed. Like I said, they're a respected powerhouse. They were in the Final Four 2 years ago. If it's one team that I believe could take UVA out, it is Tennessee. Tennessee scares me. Tennessee definitely scares me. But UVA just has to do what they have to do. Gonzaga, like I said, is touch and go because I believe Florida State could take them out as well as Texas Tech or Michigan. Remember, Michigan was the national runner-up. They were the national runner-up. And Purdue is dangerous as well. Purdue destroyed the defending national champion Villanova Wildcats in their second round game. And like I said, Virginia Tech could be a dark horse team. Now that Justin Robinson is back, they truly look like they belonged in the top 10 like they were early in the season before his injury. Virginia Tech is a very, very good basketball team. This is their first time in the Sweet 16 in 52 years. They have not been to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA Tournament since 1967. I wasn't around. My parents were. My grandparents were. Not me. So I know that it's a lot of excitement going on in Blacksburg, Virginia, as well as Charlottesville, Virginia. So this is great. This is absolutely great. We'll go into the second weekend of the tournament this coming up Thursday. And I'll be back as far as updates on the NCAA tournament once we get to the Elite Eight. I'll be working Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Saturday before the Elite Eight games start, you'll definitely hear from me again. But I just thought I would talk about that situation. Now, next up on the agenda, we'll talk about some of the NFL. Breaking news: New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski has retired. He has retired. He's 29 years old. After 9 seasons, he's hanging it up, and he's going to pursue other things. My guess is he's probably going to pursue acting because Gronk is quite a colorful character. And and I guess congratulations to him. I mean, I'm not trying to sound petty or anything like that. I mean, I know Gronk could play, but I'm not a Patriots fan, to be honest with you. But, you know, game will recognize game. I will say that. And again, you know, after 9 seasons, like I said, he's 29 years old. He's decided to hang him up. So, I mean, good for him. I mean, he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He made 5 Pro Bowls, 4 first team All-Pro. He was the NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2014 and was the NFL receiving touchdown leader in 2011. You know, he's, for his career, 521 receptions, 7,861 receiving yards, 79 receiving touchdowns. So, of course, you know the discussion is going to start. Do you think, and it's already started, where do you think Rob Gronkowski ranks among the all-time best in NFL tight ends? You know there are going to be people who are going to be prisoners of the moment. I think Gronk is the greatest tight end ever. I think nah. Is he would he possibly be the most feared tight end? Dominant tight end? Think you got something there. Because when healthy, Rob Gronkowski was a beast. I'm not gonna deny that. But do you think that I can't put Gronkowski over the likes of Shannon Sharp? Or even really a Tony Gonzalez. You know, I can't do that. Or a Kellen Winslow. You know, I can't. Now, Rob Gronkowski had what many people recognize as the greatest quarterback in NFL history throwing him the ball. I mean, he was Tom Brady's security blanket for a long time. But here's some things that I think that not a lot of people think of. For one, Gronkowski, he had issues staying healthy. Now, I mean, so when you say it says that he played 9 NFL seasons, you really have to cut that down to maybe about 7.25. So, you know, when you talk about the greatest tight end ever, longevity has to play a part in that as well. And do you think Rob Gronkowski would have been a great tight end had it been another quarterback throwing him the ball? We'll never know unless he comes out of retirement, which I wouldn't totally rule out. Look what the hell Jason Witten just did. And but I mean, because you never know, because he'll be out of football for a year. His body will start to recover. And he might feel like he can still do this. So we shall see. But when you talk about the greatest tight end ever, like I said, availability plays a part as well as longevity. You know, Tony Gonzalez played tight end for 17 years. The reason why I won't put Tony Gonzalez as the greatest tight end ever is because his postseason credentials do not match up to his regular season accomplishments. You know, that's just me. Tony Gonzalez in a 17-year career won 1 playoff game. Was on a winning team. Was on a team that won 1 playoff game. Not that he wasn't on teams that didn't make the playoffs. Because remember during the football season how I went on the rant about the Kansas City Chiefs and how they always would have good regular season, then just straight fade in the playoffs. Tony Gonzalez was a part of a lot of those teams. He was a part of that 97 team that lost. He was a part of that 2003 team that lost. Another 2006 one and done playoff team, lost. 2010 playoffs, still with no, he was with the Falcons by then. But when he was with the Falcons, they were one and done. In Tony Gonzalez's era, they won one playoff game. That's his lone playoff victory. So I can't elevate him over a Shannon Sharpe. I can't elevate him over a Shannon Sharpe who has 3 Super Bowl rings, who was a 8-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first team All-Pro. The part of the 1990s NFL All-Decade team. And I'm not just saying this because Shannon is a Bronco. I'm saying this because look at the stats. Does he have as many touchdowns as Rob Gronkowski? And I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe now. No. But he has more career receptions, 815. He has more career receiving yards, over 10,000. He has 3 rings, just like Gronk. And the difference is Gronk played in the passing era of football. Tony Gonzalez was part of that era that converted because he played for so long. But Shannon Sharpe played in a run-first NFL league. In his day, he was the best tight end in football. It was not Jay Novacek. It was not Brent Jones. Those were the 2 best in the NFC. But the best in the AFC and the best overall was Shannon Sharpe. That's just my opinion. So, but like I said, people are prisoners of the moment. Oh, Gronk was he's the boat of tight ends. I would pump my brakes. Now, if Gronkowski retires for a year, comes back, and then wins another Super Bowl or 2 and has Pro Bowl seasons, hey, what can you say? But I think he's probably doing the right thing because he's been beat up a lot. And, he's been beat up a lot for a guy that's not even 30 years old. So I think that he's doing the right thing. I don't think he doesn't have anything else to prove in the NFL. He's proven that he's an all-time great tight end, maybe not the all-time greatest, but he's proven that he's an all-time great tight end. He's won 3 Super Bowls. He's been to Pro Bowls. He's done everything that you can do in an NFL career at his position. And he's had a lot of knee injuries, back injuries, elbow injuries. He's beat up. He's beat up, and he's still a young man. So I think you'll find him on your TV set somewhere. So I just wanted to, congratulations on a great career. All jokes aside. Like I said, he's a New England Patriot. I'm not a fan. But game will recognize game. And Gronk had game. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to touch on. I'm sorry, before I go off of this Gronkowski situation. The one, and I don't want to come across effed up or anything like that, but Rob Gronkowski saw his role increase and his numbers really increase when the situation with Aaron Hernandez happened. Now, that's not Gronkowski's fault. Because I remember when they got both of those guys in the 2010 draft. Aaron Hernandez, because the year 2011 when the Patriots went to the Super Bowl and lost to the New York Giants, they ran a 2 tight end set. And Aaron Hernandez was the better pass-catching tight end. Actually, Aaron Hernandez was the better pass-catching tight end than Gronk. Gronk was more of the blocking tight end, and Hernandez was the athletic, go up there and get it. You could put him as a slot receiver. You could put him as a running back. You could put him as an outside receiver. That's what Aaron Hernandez does. Gronk's ability has always been that for his position, he's always been such a bully. Which ain't nothing wrong with that. He was a bully. He was the Shaquille O'Neal of tight ends. Maybe not noted as the greatest of all time, but definitely the most dominant at that position. Physically dominant. Excuse me, I was porch, motherfuckers. So, that's all I wanted to talk about on the sports topic today because, like I said before, there's no need to talk about NBA, it's less than 10 games left. Really not much to talk about. Pretty much know who's going to be in the playoffs. Number 8 for the East is kind of up in the air a bit, but Western Conference is settled. I'm not talking about my favorite basketball team because they've officially been eliminated. No need to do it. They're irrelevant. I'm not like these other sports shows that just talk to hear themselves talk about situations that really don't even matter now for the rest of the season. Just like when football season was over, I'm not going to talk about that garbage that is supposed to be known as America's team. I'm not going to talk about a team that doesn't deserve to be talked about. That's not relevant. So, but like I said, I'm going to talk about some movies now. So, what a buzzer, what a buzzer, what a buzzer! I'm behind the 8 ball on some movies. I don't get a chance to get out and go see movies like I really would like to, unfortunately. I have not seen Captain Marvel yet. I would like to. I have not seen Aquaman. I'm thinking about just going ahead and buying that on the cable box. I have not seen Us. I really want to. And I guess that's what I'm going to talk about. Because I have heard a lot of mixed reactions when it comes to that movie. I think some people were looking for, the psychological thriller that Get Out was. But what I'm hearing is that this is a bona fide horror flick. So I guess that might have thrown people for a loop. But I still want to see it, I definitely want to see it because, for one, it's got like half of the cast of Black Panther in it. It's got M'Baku and Nakia. Hi. The reactions have been that I've read have been mostly positive, but what I've seen on like social media, heard on the radio, is just that it's like kind of mixed. But hey, excuse me, it hasn't even been out for a week. It's already at over $88 million as far as box office on a $20 million budget. So what can you say? It started off as number 1. It started off at number 1. So hey, that's dope. Jordan Peele is getting it. For a comedian, he must have had some fucked up shit happen to him because he is writing about some really mind-altering, make you think type of shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. But it's doing its thing. This movie is going to be well on to making $100 million, which I guess because I had heard some negative responses that it wouldn't do the numbers that Get Out did. Get Out just did amazing. On a $4.5 million budget, the total box office draw as of this point is still $255.4 million. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? For what is almost damn near a low budget movie. You know what I mean? So they put some money into this one, a little bit of money into this one for Jordan Peele. And it looks like it's paying off because it's almost at $100 million and the movie hasn't even been out a week. So, like I said, kudos, but I definitely want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see Captain Marvel as well because, I'm a Marvel movie fan. I like DC movies too, but DC movies are just a little dark. You feel me? They're just a little dark. So, but yeah, I want to see Captain Marvel because I'm gonna go see Endgame. You damn Skippy. I'm gonna go see Endgame. But I've been told by a lot of my friends that yes, you have to go see Captain Marvel before you see the Endgame, which makes perfect sense. And that Captain Marvel is like the Superman of the Marvel of the MCU, and that's pretty dope. But yeah, I definitely have to catch up. The only DC movie that I've heard about that has had like the type of humor that a Marvel movie has, it was Aquaman, and I haven't seen that yet either. I haven't seen that yet either. I mean, they tried with the humor with the Justice League. They did. They tried. But I mean, some of it was funny. I thought Flash was a trip. I thought Flash was pretty funny. But I mean, the rest of them tried, but maybe with the next Justice League, they might, and even still, that movie did damn near $1 billion. So, but not like Aquaman. Of what I've seen, that's why I got to see Aquaman, because the money that I've seen that Aquaman has made, I'm like, good Lord. The Aquaman did Black Panther type numbers. So, going to the movies is still fun. You don't have to stream everything. Going to the movies is still fun. I wish that I honestly had more time to do it, but hopefully, everything will work out. But this has definitely been fun. This definitely has been fun. I know I didn't cover as many sports, as usual, but around this time, it all generates around the NCAA tournament. That's importance number one. Then you're coming up on the end of the NBA regular season, and like I said, you look at the Western Conference. There are 8 teams. You know who's going. You just don't know what the seedings are going to be. And then so you got NCAA, then NBA. Now, me personally, I don't focus on baseball, opening day with baseball that's coming, because I don't really follow baseball to the playoffs. I watch the All-Star game and see who has the home field advantage. But this is around the type of the year that's the main stuff I focus on, in any type of important boxing match that may be coming up, that may be looming. So, with that being said, it's been another wonderful episode. This is episode number 35 for Sports Plus Life. Again, if you have not yet subscribed, definitely hit that subscription button. Listen to your boy. Comment to your boy. Holla at your boy. But everybody be safe out there. I'll see y'all in a bit. I'll probably see y'all Saturday. But I'm out of here. Peace.